Right, so today I'm going to go through those 3 hives and this hive. This is the far end hive, which we're going to go through first, is the one I checkerboarded the other day. See if they've actually started to draw out some of those frames, and then if they've started to fill that, well, start capping off more of that honey. Then I'm going to check on the middle of those 3, which I've actually started feeding because the cluster was so small, to try and encourage the queen to lay more eggs. Then the far right hive on that group, they've now sorted, so I'm going to see how they're doing. Also, I'm getting a cool rainbow headband because my hair, I've been complaining to my wife, my hair's been getting in the way while I've been beekeeping, so this will keep it out of my eyes. Alright, beautiful sunny day. It's not meant to be very nice tomorrow, so I'm getting this done today while it's nice. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's already about 15-16 degrees up here, so got a lot of bees in this super. Now, a quick check, see how much honey we got up here, and then I'll move on to the brood. They're capping quite a bit of honey in here. Beautiful. So this is just going to be their winter feed. They're not going to produce enough for any honey harvesting anymore this year. So I checkerboarded this hive last week, well, back end of last week. So I alternated all the drawn frames with the empty frames to try and encourage them to draw the frames out. People said it might work, it might not, so that frame hasn't been touched right at the back, which was, expected. So again, right at the back, that was one of the drawn frames I'd moved. It's not been touched. However, they have drawn this one out quite well. They've drawn out both sides in just a few days. This was completely blank last time I was in here. And they're filling it with honey, nectar and pollen. We got all stages of it in here of brood. Wow, this was an empty frame again, and it's nearly fully drawn out. And it's full of eggs. There's the queen as well. So I bring this frame up so you can see it on the camera. So my queen is just here with a big blue dot on her back. They'll be emerging in the next couple of days. I think this frame was capped brood last week. And again, in a week they've drawn this frame out and it's full of eggs. Okay, so in a couple of weeks we're going to have a lot of bees in here. We've got to practice like a little queen cell on the bottom of the frame there. I'll just leave it, it's empty, no need for concern. And I've only seen one. I shall put this hive back together and then move on to the next one. Right, so now it's time to check my original queen. The cluster's been extremely small, not much activity, so I've fed them and I reduced their entrance right down weeks ago. But I've been feeding them this week. Still got a little bit left. Okay, they've still got some left, so they obviously don't need much of it because they're not drawing all that sugar syrup out of there. I've just had such a small cluster in this hive this year. I've been very concerned. So they're filling this with nectar and probably that sugar syrup as well. And there's a lot of pollen in here actually, so yeah, they're drawing a lot of, they are getting resources in. Again, this one, they've got brood. Again, very small cluster of brood. I'm trying to encourage the queen to lay by giving them this feed to trick her to thinking there's a big nectar flow on. There's the queen in there. And what's bizarre is, this is an unmarked queen. Now, last week there was a marked queen, but I didn't see any queen cells. And this week, we have an unmarked queen. So I wonder whether they've superseded her because she wasn't laying very well, which would make sense because it's such a small colony. There's no queen cells or evidence of queen cells here, and there was no queen cells last week. And I know the queen was marked. Anyway, we'll see how that develops over the next couple of weeks. I'll put these back together. They're literally just covering 2 frames, so there's nothing else. So this hive, I'll go through a video later on and go through everything that's gone through my beekeeping year this year. Okay, so they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got about 8 frames that look like that. So almost fully capped. About 8 frames like that. So that's good winter stock for them. I'll check to see what the brood's like underneath. And if the brood's good, then I might put a super on top. Okay, this one's heavy. Yeah, they're drawing it out. Pollen, honey, nectar. And the reverse is just kind of half drawn out. Lots of cap brood. In the space of what, 3 weeks she's been in here roughly. We've got 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 or 5 frames full of cap brood. So we're going to have a big population boost in here. Excellent brood pattern. I've got no worries. So I'll lock these back up. I am going to leave them as they are while they fill out the last of these frames. When they start storing honey again in the honey super, I might consider putting another super on top. Because we've still got a lot of wildflowers around here, and I have actually got a small area of buckwheat coming through, so that should be good because it should flower in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so last hive to check today. This is the swarm that came off my pear tree a few weeks ago, and last week they had a lot of comb where they shouldn't, so I removed it, but it had honey stored in it, so I've put it here inside the crown board as like a controlled robbing or feeding, so that they could take that honey back down to the hive and not waste it, and then they clean the wax off lovely without worry of it attracting wax moths and things like that. Wow, look at the honey and pollen on there. All honey and pollen, perfect. So they're bringing in resources. They're also drawing the frame out at the same time. Wow, solid brood pattern. Absolutely solid. There's actually a bee hatching here. Yep, larvae, there's all stages. Wow, solid brood again. Again, wow, solid brood. There's eggs in there, there's larvae, capped. Everything in here we got. All stages. This is exactly what we want. So I'm not going to checkerboard these, I'm going to leave them. Today I've learned all 4 of my hives are queen right. The middle hive here, I don't know what's going on. They had a marked queen from last year in there. I haven't seen any queen cells, there's not been any empty queen cells over the past few weeks, and then all of a sudden there's an unmarked queen in there. The checkerboarding seems to have worked in that hive. Excellent. The building comb just like I was hoping for. I don't know what's happening with the queen or why. They're getting stronger, they are doing well. The cluster's still very small, but they're building up using the, I think the feed is supplementing the feed is definitely helping to bring them up. The one close here is doing well. It's reasonably strong. I'm just happy that they've gotten themselves sorted out. They've gotten the queen sorted out, that's the main thing. So that hive, your left, then the pine hive is sorted, it's got itself queen right, she's a strong laying queen, their colony's going to build. The hive round the corner by itself on the right, on the further left, is doing well, it's strong. Almost forgot. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'll put it somewhere on the screen here. Check out my other videos, keep an eye on the channel. If you like what you see, keep watching, and I'll keep putting more videos up. I'm learning, first year beekeeper, so I'm learning. Hopefully people can comment and help me improve and learn as I go, and I can hopefully pass on some good knowledge as well at the same time.